Good morning, and welcome to Between the Trees Business Talk, brought to you by Woodlands Online. I'm Aaron Cox, President and CEO of the Woodlands Area Chamber, and we are delighted to be here today to have with us Ms. Delores Crum, who is President and Chief Culture Officer for Premier Events. She's also a Chamber of Commerce signature member and corporate partner. So Delores, welcome so much
Thank
to
you
the
so
show.
much. It's so good to see you.
So excited to see you and glad to see you. Happy to have you here and to join us. We want to spend just a few minutes together here today. We want to talk a little bit about the company and talk about all the things that are going on in Premier, but I think we'd be remiss if we didn't kind of throw in a few other things as well. So as we get started, why don't we know that you're a native Oklahoman.
I am.
And
so we don't have to talk about Aggies or Longhorns.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or Sooners.
We don't. That's not where I went.
That's right. So tell us a little bit about Delores.
Okay. So I was born in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, bounced around between Oklahoma and Texas for all of my childhood. For the first 5 years of schooling, I didn't go to the same school twice.
Wow.
So that was a little different and a little unusual. But finally settled in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, where I got to finish the rest of my public schooling and graduated from high school there in Bartlesville. There were two choices for colleges when you got to that point in your educational career, and one of them was Oklahoma and one of them was Oklahoma State. I chose Oklahoma State because it was closer to home and easier to get back to mom's home cooking. So
there you go.
And
that's always a deciding factor, right?
So graduated with a degree in sociology and psychology, double major. And then it was like, okay, what do you do with that? Where do you go with that? So found myself in San Antonio, worked for the Department of Human Services, otherwise known as the Welfare Department, for 10 years. Mm-hmm. And that's where I started.
Excellent. And so that's an interesting path. I mean, to go kind of into human services side, and then make your way into an events company. But I think you're a self-described. Well, we know for certain you're an entrepreneur.
We do.
We know that you're a philanthropist.
Yep.
I am curious, an unrepentant workaholic.
That's me.
So I think that may give us a little bit of taste of how you got from the human services all the way now to business owner and author and all of those things.
You bet. So my husband and I married in 1983. We met through the department, and we made the commitment right then. We married on April Fool's Day, which I think is an interesting thing as well. We made the commitment early on to be entrepreneurs, to pursue an entrepreneurial path. We'd had enough of the public sector. Richard had worked there 20 years, and I for 10.
Wow.
So we said, let's do something totally, completely different. And so we did. After a couple of false starts in that endeavor, we found our path when we went sort of back to our roots and started to weatherize low-income homes. And for the next 20 years of our journey together, that's what we did. Awesome. We did caulking, weather stripping, insulation, all those things for low-income individuals who were served by community action agencies, including in Houston.
Nice. That is a huge.
It was a big need at the time, for sure.
Undertaking, but a need, and one of those that I think very often folks don't realize how big of a benefit that is to someone who is in need.
It totally was. We felt like we did really good work. So my passion is people, regardless of what context it is I'm doing that in.
Sure.
My passion is people, and we really did good and enjoyable work. Came to a point in that career path where it was no longer profitable for us.
Sure.
Or particularly helpful to the people we were serving.
Absolutely.
So we said, okay, what do we do now?
What's next?
Yeah. So in 1996, we had built our retirement plan, which was a rather large self-storage property, which is a good thing. Gives you stability. It's kind of good. Then we had some acreage across the street from where that self-storage is, vacant land. And we said, okay, well, let's do a hardware store. So we start, because Richard likes little hardware things, he always has, tools and equipment, all the things. So we started to look at what the options for that would be, and we looked at Ace Hardware and True Value Hardware. Turns out that True Value has a rental division, and we became the first ground-up Party Central in the True Value chain. So when we were born in November of 2000, we were Party Central. But we had to say Austin Party Central because you had to have an A in your name because
Sure.
you had to be in the Yellow Pages. And yeah,
There you go.
the what? The who? The
That
what?
makes
Yeah.
sense.
Anyway, yeah, that's how we got started.
Very cool. So you kind of take that road, you find your way through, and then you get to Premier Events.
That's right.
Um,
So in 2000, we've grown organically and by acquisition.
Okay.
So one of the name changes was a result of a company that we purchased. It predated us and had, I think, probably a broader reputation than Premier did. So we incorporated their name, which was Premier Tents and Events, into our name, and we became Premier Party Central and Premier Tents and Events.
Awesome.
Then we married those brands and became Premier Events Rental done right. And that was about 2013. So we continue to acquire and continue to grow in both ways, organically and by acquisition, or by just starting from scratch, like you do in the Woodlands. Yeah.
Awesome. So why the Woodlands for Premier Events?
Well, the business answer is that we were looking for an underserved area. And the Woodlands didn't have their own event rental company. So we wanted to be, and we are, that person. But the real reason is that we love the Woodlands.
Sure.
We love the trees, we love the water, we love the people. As a Virgo, I love the consistency and just the organization of it. We love the energy of it. We love the feel of it. So
Sure.
it really, there was a legitimate business reason, but really the intangibles are more important.
Awesome. That's good to hear. And we know that our community in general is, not only respected around the country and around the world, but that lived experience to hear it said, by another person, and to know that you're walking through it every day. It's so impactful to know that consistency and the aesthetics and all of the
Those
supports
things. Yep.
of the community are
Yep.
what drive you to do business here.
The shopping and the restaurants are also really good.
Yeah.
Those are really good pluses, but just being a part of this community is really, it's an awesome thing.
Absolutely. So, with Premier, as we were kind of doing a little bit of study and talking, you make a point about Premier's commitment to exceptional customer service. And that's something we don't hear a lot today, but how's that commitment kind of manifested in your day-to-day operations?
Sure. So I think one of the things that we do to show our customer service commitment, we start early on when we onboard members of our team. We look for team members who have a passion for people, like we do. We have a loyalty level program, which is sort of unique to our company. And it really focuses on expressing our deep appreciation for the people who do business with us. They've got choices. They've got options. So everything that brings them to us and keeps them with us is critically important to us. We rarely lose a customer. We've fired a few in our career, but we rarely lose one.
Sure.
And we have that same philosophy when it comes to our team. How do we show our team that we appreciate them? And we show them the love like we do with our customers.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, it's an important point that you make, that it's customer facing.
Totally.
It's a lot of customer service. But how do you show some of that appreciation internally for the team?
For our team, well, we are paying people more than we ever thought we could or dreamed that we would.
Yes.
So first of all, we try to be competitive on a salary.
Absolutely.
We do all of the suite of benefits, and for a small company, that's not really an easy thing to do. But we do the 401ks, and we do the health insurance, and Premier pays 60%, and just all the things that are part and parcel of large companies.
Sure.
With big budgets, but can be part of small companies with smaller budgets.
Absolutely. And that's it's interesting because part of what you did along with, or what you do along with being an entrepreneur, you talk a lot about leadership and how and have shared with the world some of your philosophies on leadership. So when you're as a leader, we're going to try to keep it Premier, but we got to tap into some of this Delores knowledge we've got sitting in the chair. But so as a leader, as in Premier, and then as you look in the big kind of scope of things, what do you look for in hiring prospective customer-facing team members?
Customer facing is different from what I look for if I'm looking for someone who's going to have a leadership position in Premier.
Mm-hmm.
If it's someone who's going to hopefully have a leadership position in Premier, I'm looking for initiative. First thing, most important thing, people who don't have to be told. People who see the piece of paper and pick it up. People who want to grow in their role. And what we do is support that passion that people already have for growth and development. They want to learn.
Sure.
They want to move ahead. They want to take on more responsibility, and we want to help them do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then as you come inside, because I feel like in our culture today, customer service is kind of
just a byword, just a catchphrase. Yeah.
No, I think there are some that do it really well, but it's often your challenge to
Yes.
find it. And so when you're thinking about kind of customer facing team members at Premier, what are you looking for in those?
Kindness, people who are kind, people who are considerate, people for whom the customer is the priority, because we've got products. Everybody's got products
Sure.
in this industry. So it's not about that. It's about building relationships with long-term customers, and it's about doing the very best job you can for the customer whose event to them is the most important thing at that
Sure.
time. The weddings that we do, the signature events that we do, the graduations, those are going to happen once. Well, mostly.
Yeah.
They're going to happen once. And so we're cognizant of that. We're always wanting to, we don't get a second chance. If we mess up, we can't fix it tomorrow. It's done. So we realize that we have to be on the top of our game all the time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like many, but you guys work in a pretty competitive
We do.
landscape.
We do.
Both your company, but then you're competing against nationally and
We are.
regionally known
That's right.
folks. So how do you stand out in the event space or in that marketplace?
Well, we do think that it is the customer service that sets us apart. Again, there is nothing that we have that our competitors don't have. There's nothing proprietary that Premier can rent, but we can treat you better than anyone else.
Yes,
That's how we feel like we set
That's
aside.
awesome.
Yep.
That is awesome. So outside of just being the boss,
Yep.
tell us what do you bring to the Premier table, and kind of do you feel like is your most meaningful contribution to the organization?
I bring a lot of enthusiasm, energy, enthusiasm, drive, determination, ambition, a growth orientation, and I am Chief Culture Officer.
Yes.
So I'm always focused on creating the best possible culture that we can. I think that those things are probably my greatest contribution.
Sure.
We'd not be here in the Woodlands absent Delores. We wouldn't be having this conversation.
Right.
It's my drive, my ambition, my forward look
Sure.
that helps us grow.
Excellent. And again, amazing leadership traits, right? That ability to
Sure.
look ahead, that ability sometimes to do it afraid.
Yes,
to,
indeed.
to,
Yes,
to look
indeed.
out there and say, we don't know.
yeah.
But like Indiana Jones, we're going to take that step of faith.
That's right.
And,
Leap of faith.
look where the foot lands. And so, what's your favorite thing about the work that Premier does? And
I'm going to tell you the truth, because I don't know how to tell you anything else.
Yeah.
But the real thing I did not know or expect, there were a lot of things I didn't know or expect about Premier. I don't know why I didn't understand that the events industry is a 24/7, 365 business. I don't know why I didn't get that, but that was a thing I didn't get from the
Sure.
beginning. But the main thing I didn't know that I've learned is that Premier gives you an almost unlimited capacity to do good. Most of our nonprofits in this community or any community that we serve, most of their fundraising is done in the context of events. So when you have the ability to support those events, you can do an almost unlimited amount of good.
Absolutely. That is so true. It's so
Yeah.
true. And we know that there's probably not more than one in this community that you guys don't have a little finger.
Probably not. Probably not.
As you think about starting the company, growing the company, and doing all those things, is there anything that you might have done differently, or something that you wish you may have known, or you would have known?
I
then
would
that you
not
might
have gone through COVID. Because I'm pretty sure I have COVID PTSD, like for real.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a really, really, really difficult time. Now, that which doesn't kill us theoretically makes us stronger.
Sure.
So we're going to go with that. But that was and continues to be impacting.
Sure.
And when you have PTSD, you still have those moments, and you're like, Yeah, that was tough.
Absolutely.
That was tough.
You know, and I don't think as communities, as education systems, as corporate endeavors, I don't think anybody's really fully recovered.
No, I don't either.
And to some degree, we still don't totally know the full impact.
I think that's true too. We went through 9/11 as a very, very, very young company, and that was difficult enough.
Sure.
We had taken people's money and spent that money for events that then did not happen.
Yeah.
So that was a really tough situation, but we learned from that, and maybe to some extent that helped us go through the whole COVID experience. But to business owners, I would say this about that: make all the money you can, but don't spend all the money you make.
Yes.
One thing that got us through that experience was having something set aside. Just like you do in your personal life, it's really important to do that in your business life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you've got a lot going on.
I do.
Big company.
Yeah.
But you've written two books.
I did have. Yeah.
So how'd you find time, one, to write two books? But why was that important to you?
I didn't find time. I made time, and it was important to me because I really feel like I've led a charmed life.
Sure.
In a lot of ways, and I feel like I feel like that people could identify with the journey that I took. Nothing from nowhere, and you make of yourself what you choose to be, as you have, as we all have.
Sure.
So I felt like maybe my journey would be helpful. So my book, Simple Success Strategies, spells out how I did it and suggests to other people that it might work for them too.
Awesome. What are some of the key things from Simple Success?
So it's an acronym. PEZ is what it's PPPEEEZ. So it's positivity, principles, persistence, energy, emotion, expertise, and the Z stands for zeal. I could have used enthusiasm, but then I would have spelled P. So yeah, I stuck a Z in there.
There you go.
Zeal's a great word and often misused and misunderstood.
Absolutely, and you might catch the attention of some people in my generation because anytime someone says Pez, I look.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. They have been around for a really long time. The Pez Candy Company. It's amazing. They have an amazing story.
Yeah, and I don't know if that candy's actually really good.
No, it's not, but it's fun. It's not really good. Ooh,
It is a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. So two books.
Yep.
Secrets or Simple Secrets.
And Magic, Money, and Meaning. Crafting a prosperous and purposeful life.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that one is, there are two things to aim for in life, Aaron. First is to get what you want. And after that, to enjoy it. And only the wisest of mankind achieve the second. Logan Pearsall Smith said that. So, Magic, Money, Meaning is more about that. How do you live a meaningful life? How do you live a worthwhile life? Because doing good feels good, and if you want to be a humanitarian, a philanthropist, any of those things,
Sure.
You want to have that role, you want to leave that legacy. Well, Magic, Money, and Meaning sort of talks about that.
Awesome. So we don't know, or we don't think that it's going to be anytime soon. But what's your plan for retirement?
Aha! I'm glad you asked that. I'm not going to retire. I believe that working keeps you young, it keeps you relevant, it keeps you involved, it keeps you informed. I'm going to work until I die. I'm going to be buried with my laptop because I don't want to miss anything.
All right. So, that's, again,
People think I'm
unrepentant
kidding.
workaholic.
Type AAA.
Type AAA. And we're not talking the batteries.
We are not.
When you talked about the energy, it's more like one of those big, giant batteries to go. So I guess with that, my last question, as you look toward the future, it's we were kind of thinking to ask, do you see yourself being involved in the day-to-day with Premier forever? And I think that might be it.
I'm really not involved in the day-to-day now. There's some distance between me and the customer for the most part.
Okay.
But there's not any distance between me and my team.
Yeah.
And that's really, I think that will always be my role.
Excellent, excellent, and I think it speaks to the leadership and the principles that you've laid out in the book, and that role as the chief culture officer, right? You continually being there to kind of set that tone
Yep.
and then monitor and look at it. So, anything else you want to share with us about Premier?
I want to share with you how much I'm looking forward to the Chairman's Ball.
Absolutely.
Premier has participates heavily in that event, and we're so excited about it. We attend a lot of events in this community and many others, and I got to tell you, it's one of my favorites.
Awesome. Well, that's so good
It's
to
just
hear.
an amazing one.
Yeah, and we definitely appreciate the work that you all do to help us make those events incredible. This year, of course, I too am looking forward to Chairman's
Yes.
Ball. It's going to be great to get to honor our chair, Ann Wolford, who
Yes, indeed.
who is another one who I know you know well, and really sets the tone along with you all and your partnerships to. I think when we look big scheme at the work that you all do, you really set the tone and temperament of the rooms to allow people's missions to grow.
Thank you.
to be funded.
That's what we hope to do.
Absolutely, and we appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
Because we know, yes, we have a very vibrant business community
We do.
here in the Woodlands area, but we have an incredibly vibrant and service-oriented not-for-profit sector
We do.
that is able to do what they are able to do
Yes.
because of that business
Yep.
community. And so we appreciate the work that you do on both sides
Thank you very
of
much.
those, and say thank you. And we appreciate, of course, your membership in the chamber and all that you do as part of the membership and as a corporate partner, and then what you do for this amazing community. So thank you again for being here. Thank you all for joining us today. If you have an event coming up, if you're looking, just to spice up even, the big giant backyard barbecue,
Yeah.
or if you want to decorate a park, call Premier Events. They can handle it all.
Thank you so much.
I can tell you that the first day I walked into you all's facility, I was overwhelmed, I was amazed, and I remain curious, the mind that can look at all those dishes and all those napkins and all those forks and go, those go together.
There you go.
It's like, if nothing else, we have to appreciate that. But again, thank you so much. Don't forget Chairman's Ball, August 16th. If you have not bought your tickets, please buy them today. I think there are still a couple of sponsorships available maybe, so if you want to get in on that side, we would love to have you. But the biggest thing is be in the room,
Right.
and let's support our chairman, Ann Wolford, as we celebrate her year as chair. So with that, thank you again for being with us. Thank you for all that you are doing to make this community great, and we'll see you next time between the trees. Have a great day.